You guys know I love these second gen S10s, but if you ask me, they come with one massive issue out of the box. The stance is terrible. So today, for less than $100 and about an hour's worth of work, we're going to fix both of those things. We're going to use things that the internet says you should never do, and I'm going to explain to you why it's going to be perfectly fine. I'm Wheeler, this is Mert, welcome to my world. Now, before I can get to making my argument on this, we got to get this ugly junk off here. Chalk them wheels. Jag it up. Lock it. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Okay, so the first thing we need to talk about is wheel spacers. The internet hates these things, and realistically, I don't know why. These are just your simple, generic, cheap Amazon lug-centric spacers. They're not hub-centric. We'll get into that in a minute. Now, the reason we're putting these on, and we're only putting them on the rear, but it's because the rear axle is considerably narrower than the front. These are 1.5-inch spacers, so it's going to give us 3 inches overall on the rear axle and make the whole thing stick out a little bit wider. For the hub-centric versus lug-centric debate, hub-centric, for those unaware, have a ring around here, a little lip that the wheel will sit on, and that's supposed to help locate the wheel when you put the wheel on. Lug-centric wheels rely on this nut and that taper on it, on the very end there. So the taper is what actually pulls the wheel up into place and centers the wheel on the hub. This is to keep it from vibrating and stressing the wheel studs and all that fun stuff. Now, I ran these exact same spacers, or at least one really similar to it. They were slightly smaller stud on my old trail rig. I jumped that thing over 6 times and I never had a concern with these. They worked perfectly the whole time. Really, all they do is make your truck look a little bit better. Now, don't go crazy with it. Yes, it is adding a little bit of leverage onto your axle shafts and blah, 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 blah. But realistically, this truck never really leaves the road. So the way my wife drives it, where she drives it, how she drives it, it's going to be completely fine, and we don't have to worry about these things. One other thing that I want to hit on real quick about these guys is that they're not just a spacer. These are actually an adapter. So these trucks, they come with a 5-on 4 3/4 or 5-on 120.65 millimeter. So 120.65 millimeter diameter. These are adapters from 5-on 4 3/4 down to 5-on 120 millimeter because I'm running some wheels off a BMW on my truck. What that means is that would be a 0.325 millimeter difference on the radius, but it's close enough that it's going to be negligible. You guys can argue with me in the comments about that. By all means, it's engagement and I'll take it. But I've been running my 5-on 120 millimeter wheels on 5-on 4 3/4 axle shafts for about 8 months now, and I have had no issues with that either. Just one more thing on the internet that you can ignore. The second thing that we're going to be doing is changing these wheels. These are the most hideous S10 wheels that they ever made, in my opinion. So we're going to go ahead and replace them with the ones that I took off of my truck. These are a set of ZQ8 wheels. ZQ8 was a sport suspension package. That's the RPO code. RPO codes are the things that you see in your glove box that tell you all the goodies that your truck has. These came on the sport suspension package 2-wheel drive. So these guys have a little bit different offset. They're going to actually poke out a little bit further than the stock ones. So normally if we would have just put these on without the spacers, the rear wheels would end up being just about flush with the fenders, and the front wheels are going to poke out a little bit. But again, we're going to be putting those spacers on, so we're going to have a little bit of poke on all 4 corners with this thing. I didn't paint these. I probably should, but they're just some charcoal gray that some previous owner had painted them. We're just going to slap them on for now. Originally, The truck had 235 75 15s on it. And what I've got here is a set of the nicest, cheapest Chinese tire I could find. These are 235 70 16s, so it's ever so slightly larger. I don't know if you can see on camera there or not, but the new tire is just slightly taller than the old tire. We'll see if that's a problem. I hope not. Fenders can always be trimmed though, right? That's enough talking. Let's put this stuff on. I mean, come on. That's looking so much better. Oh man. Just a set of wheels that I had laying around and a set of spacers. You can buy these wheels for a few $100. Buy a used set of tires for a couple $100, and then those spacers are like 30-40 bucks. And the difference is huge. It's amazing. It looks so much better. But let's go find somewhere with a little bit more space so we can really get a good look at this thing. If you ask me, that completely transformed the look of the truck. And when I ask my wife, she's pretty damn happy with it too, which realistically I suppose is all that really matters. Now, before I end this video off, I do want to go over one quick thing here. I did have to trim the fender ever so slightly. I had to just nib the end of it off there to get it to clear on the back side. On the front side, it's still catching right on the very edge here, but not even enough for me to really worry about cutting it. So I'm going to let the wife run it, let that self-clearance itself over time, and it's going to be completely fine. I'll let you guys go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know if you think it was worth my time. Didn't cost a whole lot of money. If you enjoyed the content, like, comment, subscribe, bell notification thingy, all that. We'll see you next time.